The Indian auto industry is going through a monumental shift. You see, on the one hand, electric vehicles are picking up the pace, and on the other, we are becoming an SUV frenzy nation. Quite contradictory statement, isn't it? Well, no. I'm not talking about the gas guzzling machines. What I am talking about are the small, more affordable urban SUVs. Now, one such small and urban SUV is here with me today. Now, it is much smaller than the Nexon in size, but promises a bigger footprint on the road and a strong competition to all the hatchbacks in the Indian market today. Meet the Tata Punch. So let me start my review with the basic understanding of the Tata Punch. Now Tata will be planting the Punch just below the Nexon, so you can call this car as a subcompact SUV rather than a micro SUV, which is a much smaller segment. It is based on the Alpha platform, and despite being subcompact SUV, it has a height as similar to the most of the compact SUVs you can buy in India, and I'll just show you the height in comparison to my height, which is around 9.5. And in that way, Tata Motors has perfectly managed to create illusion of a big car by adding elements from their family of bigger SUVs. It has a ground clearance of 187 mm and elements like prominent black colored body cladding, tri-arrow inserts, sleek DRLs, wrap-around tail lamps, which probably is the most stylish tail light unit from Tata yet, floating roof and 16-inch alloys, all adding to the road presence of the Punch. Not only that, smaller elements like beautifully crafted door handles, a Rhino Easter egg, and vocal for local branding elevates the whole design. The biggest highlight for me, of course, has to be the 90-degree opening doors, all four, for easy getting in and out of the SUV, a much thoughtful design touch for the elderly. Move inside the cabin and you'll realize the whole minimalism theme that makes you feel welcoming. The dark grey colored cabin gets a large light grey strip running across the dashboard. The colored coordinated AC vents add to the peppiness. The seat fabric, on the other hand, carries forward the tri-arrow design elements. One commendable thing is that Tata has improved the cabin quality many notches above. Now, before we start talking about the features, we will quickly jump to the rear seat as there's a lot of confusion prevailing over the cabin space. Now, before coming for the review of the Tata Punch, we asked our viewers what's that one thing they want to know about this new SUV, and most of you asked about the rear leg room. Now I'm sitting here at the rear seats of the Tata Punch, and truth be told, it's very comfortable and very spacious here, especially because of the tall boy look. It gets loads of headroom, and I've adjusted these seats according to my height, which is around 9.5 to 5'10", and you can see the rear legroom here. Also, the floor hump is negligible here, which means sitting 3 people abreast wouldn't be much of a problem here. Now, carrying forward the practicality bit, you get enough spaces inside the cabin to keep your stuff, along with door, bottle holders and seat pockets. The boot in itself is rated at 366 litre, making it among the largest boots even in a segment above, thanks to the replacement of a spare tire with the puncture repair kit. The seats can be folded but not in split. Talking about the gadgets, the Tata Punch gets a 7-inch floating touchscreen infotainment system with Harman sound system and connectivity like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can also opt for the IRA connectivity suite. Then you get a semi-digital instrument panel with 7-inch TFTs, steering mounted controls, cool glove box, cruise control, auto AC, auto headlamps, rain sensing wipers and ideal start stop. In that sense, Tata Punch is one of the most feature-loaded cars below rupees 10 lakh. The things I missed was a front armrest, and there's some improvement needed in the touch response of the infotainment screen.
So Tata is offering the Punch with only one engine option, which is the 1.2 liter Revotron unit we have seen in the Altros, producing 86 PS and 130 Newton meter of torque. Now it gets two gearbox options. One is the 5-speed AMT, the one we are driving today, and the 5-speed MT, both of which are good enough gearboxes. However, the AMT is not my piece of cake because I don't like the performance of AMT per se. However, having said that, the performance of the Punch in itself is very good. A lot of people were thinking that Punch is a big car from the Altros, there must be that added weight, and with the same engine the performance might be hampered, but that's not the case. The Punch performs really good, at least in the city driving conditions, and the NVH levels, the steering input, the ride quality, everything is refined and tuned as per a small SUV.
Talking more about the gearbox itself, the AMT behaves the way it is supposed to behave, and that is the limitation of this type of unit. The drive feels jittery at times and can become real jerky in the stop-go traffic. Thankfully, the engine saves the day for you. There are two driving modes you can choose from, namely Eco and City. Tata has also introduced Traction Pro mode with the AMT gearbox for people using the car in the rural areas or high altitude cities with easy driving experience, and this technology mimics a four-wheel drive system to some extent. The super comfortable seats and the soft suspension gives it a plush ride quality overall. In terms of the safety, you get dual airbags, ABS with EBD, brake sway control, among other tech. Thankfully, we know how safe Tata cars are, and the Punch is expected to be no different.
So let me be very honest here, because that is what we love to do at News 18. Honest reviews. The Tata Punch is not your traditional SUV, and in that sense it's an innovation in the whole SUV game. While I don't like the performance, I like the whole concept of a puffed up hatchback with loads of space and new age features, and that is what a new age customer is truly looking in an affordable car. A car with big road presence, big space and value for money.